Hello dear students, this is Supply Chain Management and Logistics course tutorial. This is tutorial 3.1. The topic is transportation. The learning objectives are to learn transportation functionality and to understand transportation economics. Well, before starting the tutorial, I am informing you that at the end of this tutorial, there are two questions. So those two questions you need to answer me in my Google Classroom. So after watching this tutorial, you can find the answer and post the answer in my Google Classroom. Well, transportation, this is familiar to every one of you. This is a service which facilitates movement of goods or persons from place to place. However, in this tutorial, we will discuss transportation of goods, as because we are discussing about logistic management. Now, transportation, this is very significant in logistic management because a very high percentage of overall cost of logistics is involved in transportation. So if the cost associated with transportation can be minimized, then the overall logistic cost can be also minimized. Transportation, this is the operational area of logistics that geographically position the inventory. Now, you know that in the supply chain, the parties, say the retailers, then raw material suppliers, consumers, manufacturing firms, those are not located in the same place or in the same geographic region. So when the goods, when the materials or say any components need to send from one party to another, that time transportation service is needed. Transportation is mainly concerned with product movement and product storage. Now, transportation functionality means what are the functions performed by transportation. The two components of transportation functionality are product movement and product storage. Now, in a product, it may be in the form of materials, components, assemblies, work in progress, or finished goods. Now, transportation is necessary to move it to the next stage of manufacturing process or physically closer to the ultimate customer. The primary function is the movement up and down the value chain. Now, you already learned about value chain. So, value chain is the chain which links the supplier to the consumer or to the customer. In between, there are various intermediaries, and all the intermediaries or all the parties in the chain, they perform some function, and through those functions or through those operations and activities add some value to the product, and therefore it is called value chain. As transportation utilizes temporal, financial or environmental resources, the movement of materials should take place only when it enhances product value. Now, like other things in transportation also, while using transportation service, the firm need to make a cost benefit analysis. So there come into context the resources. So what resources they are going to use? So the resources are temporal resources, financial resources, and environmental resources. Now let's see what this means. Transportation use temporal resources because the product is inaccessible during the transportation process. The product is in transit inventory. Due to quick response practices and just-in-time strategies, transit inventories are becoming significant, thereby reducing manufacturing and distribution center inventories. Then, financial resources. Expenses incurred internally for private fleet of vehicles or externally for commercial or public transportation constitute financial resources. This includes expenses incurred on driver, vehicle operating cost, general and administrative cost, and expenses resulting from product loss or damage. Then, environmental resources. Transportation is one of the largest consumers of energy, say fuel and oil. It also creates environmental expense through congestion, air pollution, and noise pollution. Now let's discuss about product storage. So this is another function of transportation, though this is less common. This is a temporary storage through vehicle, and it make rather expensive storage facilities, but there are some situations when it becomes very important. Temporary storage becomes advantageous as a cost of unloading and reloading the product in a warehouse may exceed the daily charge of storage in transportation vehicle. It means the cost of unloading and reloading the product that may become heavier, and that time transportation that become the vehicle or that become the means for product storage. Where the warehouse space is limited, utilizing transportation vehicles may become a viable option. There are two different options. Sometimes the product is loaded on a vehicle and then the driver is instructed to take a circuitous or indirect route to its destination as the transit time is greater than the direct route. This happens in cases where the origin or destination warehouse has limited storage capacity. At other times, temporary storage is achieved through diversion. This occurs when an original shipment destination is changed while the inventory is in transit. Say the truck loaded that is supposed to reach the destination of Guwahati, but because of some changes in weather or something happened, and that's why now the truck is say moved to a place other than Guwahati. Although the product storage in transportation vehicles can be costly, it can be justified from a total cost of performance perspective. When loading or unloading cost, capacity constraints, or ability to extend the lead times are considered. So loading and unloading cost, it means loading means that goods are picked up in a vehicle where it will be carried, and unloading means again removing or taking out the goods from the particular means of transportation to warehouse. So that is unloading. Then capacity constraints. So capacity means there are limited space in warehouse. And ability to extend the lead times. So what is lead time? Lead time, that is a total time that elapses between an order's placement and its receipt. Now let's discuss about economics of transportation service. As I already told you, transportation, the business firm, they need to incur a high percentage of overall logistic cost, and therefore the aim of the logistic management is to minimize the cost, and if that cost minimization is possible through transportation, so it will add more value to the product. This transportation economics is influenced by many elements, say distance, volume, density, stowability, handling, liability, market factors, and many other related factors. Now let's discuss these elements. Distance, that means the geographical difference. Now distance directly contribute to variable costs such as labor, fuel, and maintenance. Volume, transport cost per unit of weight decreases as load volume increases. So an inverse relationship. If volume increases, then cost per unit of weight decreases. Density incorporates weight and space consideration. Transportation cost per unit of weight declines as product density increases. In terms of weight and space, an individual vehicle is constrained more by space than weight. Once the vehicle is full, it is not possible to increase the amount carried even if the good is or even if the product is lightweight. Higher density products allow relatively fixed transport costs to be spread across additional weight, as a result of which products are assessed at a lower transport cost per unit. Now, stowability refers to product dimensions and impact of the same on vehicle space utilization. Odd sizes and shapes as well as excessive weight or length generally do not stow well and typically waste space. Handling. Special handling equipments may be required for loading and unloading trucks, trains or ships. The manner in which the products are grouped, such as taped, boxed or palletized, affect handling cost. Liability. Liability refers to the product characteristics that affect the risk of damage and the resulting claims. These characteristics are susceptibility to damage, perishability, susceptibility to theft, and susceptibility to combustion or explosion. Market factors also influence transportation economics. Now say backhaul. Backhaul, that is, vehicle must return back to point of origin with load. Deadhead, so that is completing a trip with no cargo or no load. That is to be avoided because empty returns incur labor, fuel, and maintenance cost. Market factors influence transportation costs due to imbalances in manufacturing and consumption locations. Demand balance is also influenced by seasonality, such as movement of fruits and vegetables to coincide with growing season. Transportation rates change with the demand directionality and seasonality. Thus, logistics system design must take this factor into account and aid backhaul movement wherever possible. Now, after discussing these elements of transportation economics, you can easily guess that one who is planning transportation, who is planning for transportation or who is calculating the transportation cost or who is going to take decision about the mode of transportation or say the time of transportation, at that time all these factors need to be considered. Then they can minimize the transportation cost, or we can say they can avoid the unnecessary costs to be incurred in transportation. So as I inform you that there are two questions after the tutorial, so here the questions are presented to you, so you need to answer these questions in my Google Classroom. The first question is, what are the two functions of transportation? Second, transportation cost per unit of weight increases as load volume increases. So you need to state true or false. So the answers are there in the tutorial. These are the sources from where I have collected the information that I have presented in the slides. So here I am wrapping up today's session. Thank you.